Welcome back to Easy Friday. Now, let's move on to the My Culture segment, where traditional music in Kenya was in the past mostly passed down orally, accompanied by instruments and costumes, which played an important role in traditional dances.
Well, this week on My Culture, we focus on the preservation and showcasing of Kenya's cultural heritage through digitized music.
Westland's Nairobi County, a group of artists are holed up in a modern studio to document part of Kenya's diverse music. Nairobi is part of 8 regions including Central, Coast, Eastern, Northeastern, Nyanza, Rift Valley and Western Kenya, where different artists are documenting the musical diversity across the country.
What we are doing, and we are isolating the different sounds, If it's a jingle, a leg rattle that is usually tied at the leg, that leg rattle is recorded as a separate item, And they also recorded in format of loops, so it's actually short extracts which are repeated in a repetitive manner, yeah. And the way all these sounds are recorded is that they, irrespective of which sound it is from that one region.
In Nairobi, the artists representing the blend of cultures document and showcase the contemporary development of Kenyan musical identity and feature popular music genres and instruments.
These musicians are composing on site, these loops, and the sound engineers and sound designers who are working with them are actually producing new music that will sound like Nairobi. So that was also another challenge. What is Nairobi sound, and how do we make the sound of Nairobi? Well, we couldn't absolutely encompass everything and anything there is, but we did a bit of old school Nairobi sounds like, benga and some rumba. Then we did a bit of Afrofusion.
Nairobi has influences from pre-colonial times, when the word Nairobi meant place of cool waters, and then throughout the colonial period when the Western musicians would come and meet with the carrier corps and they would exchange music and they would give them instruments. So we have like guitar sounds that was started by people like Dio Misiani, Fadhili Williams, which is what people call benga now, the Malaika, Fundi Konde style. And then of course it transcends from that period into funk, where the Kelly Browns and their shanties mixed it up in the 80s. And then the 90s we introduced hip-hop with Hardstone.
For every region, a studio is set up to bring the project into fruition. In Coast region, the artists armed with a range of instruments including drums, stringed items, among others, depict Swahili music, which has a mix of African, Arabic and Indian influences dubbed Taarab. In the Rift Valley region, adorned in traditional regalia, the artists from the Pokot community showcase and document sounds, melodies of their traditional music. In central Kenya, various artists carry with them various musical instruments, including a type of a rattle, kigamba, an accordion, kinanda, among others. Musical styles and instruments are then recorded. This is replicated across the 8 regions. The artists document, enlighten on cultural beliefs behind the practice of traditional music and emphasize on the unique creativity and contribution. Spearheaded by the Bomas of Kenya in conjunction with Libido Music AB, the project aims at preserving and showcasing Kenya's cultural heritage through digitized music recordings. The final exhibit of the sample bar, which is set to be launched in October at the Bomas of Kenya, will be a fun way of exploring Kenyan traditional music, an effective tool for teachers to demonstrate to students Kenya's musical heritage, and for music professionals to rediscover the unique traditional sounds of Kenya.
This is in our language, in how we speak, and in our traditional instruments. So if you could emulate, pick out, if you're a guitar player, pick out what Natiti does and try and put it into your playing, you just immediately sound different from...
Have this digital archive, you know, in different ways accessible to the general public, you know, so that those loops and samples can be infused, you know, by music producers of all types and genres into their contemporary creativity, you know, whether it's an electronic music DJ, whether it's somebody who is, you know, creating a hip-hop beat, you know, somewhere in Eastlands or whatever is going on, you know. We'd really like for this digital archive eventually, you know, to be, if not entirely on open access, at least to have ease of access.
At the same time, it will encourage young Kenyans to utilize the traditional musical elements in their contemporary creations.
Unique in the way it approaches music, yeah. It is unique also in the way it involves the visitor in the museum experience. So it's not something studied that you just come there and look at and then you leave, you know, like you become a part of the installation. You're the creator, you're the one who plays with it, you know. So I think that's something that is very important to note. Also, the way it's built is that you don't have to have any previous knowledge in music for you to use it.
The Sample Bar Kenya exhibit will be the first of its kind on the African continent, safeguarding the authentic melodies of a wide variety of Kenyan traditional music through digital music recording. Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.